A gang member. Just saw a gang member go in. Oh my goodness. Oh, there they are. They're coming back around. We see activity. Still in Newcastle, guys. People is being as suspicious as you can be.
Uh-oh.
They reconsidered. They reconsidered. Uh-oh. He's like, I'm out of here.
Okay. We're in the surrounding town.
In the surrounding. All right. There we go. Coffee's all around.
Why are you guys reconnoitering? That's very suspicious, sir.
Who's that?
Why are you reconnoitering?
To be honest with you, I don't even know what that means.
Reconnoitering? How are you doing today, by the way?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Awesome.
Thank you for asking. I said reconnoiter. You had parked there and then you reconnoitered.
I was on the phone with my sergeant. That's the only reason why.
Okay, Young.
Yes, sir.
Good to meet you guys, man.
Good to meet you.
We've been standing out here for about 32 minutes, and we hadn't seen any.
We were on two separate calls.
Oh,
We were
for
out.
crimes?
Not for crimes.
Oh, of course. I didn't think so. Behavioral health.
Oh.
Huh. All right. What's your name?
Not a one.
Nana one?
Not a one. Like Padawan from Star Wars.
If I know how to spell it, I can.
Like Padawan from Star Wars, but with an N.
Patawan.
But just an N.
Padawan.
So not a one.
Padawan.
Yeah,
All right.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Do you like working for Newcastle?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
All right. They treat you good?
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
do? We can put a stop to that. Okay. If you guys don't start. Well, the thing is we want you to start solving crime. And he's already confessed that you were on two separate calls that weren't crimes.
Crime related.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, we want you to solve rapes, robberies, murders, and stop doing all the other bullshit.
Especially
See
murders.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
Especially the murders.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I'm not sure she thinks so.
People call police for all kind of stuff, you know. It's not like they initiate the contact.
They call, but then you can go and say, okay, there's no crime and moving on here.
That's just
Right.
absolutely
Is that what you
happened. Yeah.
Would you like us to come out so we can talk to you so we're not
Oh,
talking through
yeah.
a fence?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, just give us
We don't have to
Just
do the
keep your
Mr.
hand-
Wilson.
Just keep your hands where we can see them.
All right, so we'll maybe get a conversation in this fine 4th of July weekend. We do have folks here. We have a mental health expert with a cop. Oh my goodness. That's what it said on her shirt. It appears that's what they were doing.
Right. And then we're gonna
Oh yeah. Well,
I told him to go over.
go over and check my life. Okay,
Oh, are
yeah.
you live?
Yeah. I'm live right now.
Go over to BSBT and rewind it.
And rewind it. Yeah, you can see exactly what happened. Well, we were kind of like Mr. Wilson, you know, show Home Improvement, if you'd never seen it. Mr. Wilson, the guy who peeked over the fence. Yeah, I felt like that's what we were doing just now. We were like Mr. Wilson. Yeah. He's like, we'll come out and talk to you. I'm like, yes. There we go. So we're just going to wait on the conversation, you know? Boom, pal. Okay. Okay. Yeah, gotcha. I'm just trying to be near you for the conversation. Yeah, I'm live.
Hell yeah. He
Yeah.
just admitted he's trying to be near me.
He's trying to be near me. All right.
Bad number 17 is my number 306. Yeah. Yep. So we have, I believe, 19 officers altogether, including the captain and the two captains and the chief. So I'm number 17. That's
Oh, all right.
just where it fell.
So how long have you been doing this?
I've been here for a little over 4 years.
And you like it?
I do.
They treat you
I was a
good?
correctional officer before this, so it's good to be on the outside of the wall.
Right.
Yep. You have the freedom to go around instead of just staying into
You don't
in
have
the
to
tiers.
actually be in a correction facility.
Correct. Yep. The freedom to wander around, talk to people. Yep.
How long were you in corrections?
6 years.
So 6 years in corrections, 4 years doing this out on
Correct.
patrol?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I see you got a stripe too.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, officer first class.
Officer first class? So
Yep.
what does that mean?
It's so recruit, officer first class, the third rank.
Officer first class? Okay.
We got 2 more Hornets coming in.
Uh-oh! Did you call them?
Light them up.
Is it shift change or
Light them
something?
up.
Oh, man.
No, they were out on the call that I was on. I just beat them.
Oh.
Supervise your needs and then you guys.
Here. Oh, okay. Rock on. How we doing? Awesome. How are you? Yeah. Not a whole lot. What are you up to? Enjoying your 4th of July weekend? Trying to? Right on. Well, we were here for a while. We were trying to look as suspicious as we possibly could. Right?
Busy weekend.
Busy weekend? Oh, rock on. 4th of July weekend's a busy weekend. We kind of thought maybe you guys abandoned ship and pushed the pause button on crime, and we're like, okay, we'll just pause the crime for the weekend and we'll come back to it.
Yeah, it's just closed today because it's a weekend. So
Closed today for the weekend? Okay.
We're out on the road. Most of the time.
Out on the road most of the time. Okay. And what was your name?
Sergeant Torres.
Sergeant Torres? What was the first name?
Lou.
Lou? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Appreciate that. Well, I'm Josh. Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, a judge will call me Mr. Lanto. So if you want to call me Mr. Lanto, you can. But my friends call me
So you
Josh.
guys just visiting police agencies today? Or?
You know, we just making some rounds, seeing what's going on 4th of July. Yeah.
Did you guys go down and see the historical park? I did not. Very nice. That's historical park. Title II coordinator.
I see you have a mental health coordinator.
Yes.
Or what is it?
Behavioral health. Like she goes with us on calls.
Okay.
No.
So no arrest powers,
No.
but they go with you to
As a
assist.
resource.
So are you?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you seeing an increase in mental health visits? Is that kind of the reason to try to? Okay.
Every officer, you think all counties and
It's definitely
cities should try it?
it's definitely a good resource to have. Yeah.
I agree with that.
So she told us how long she had been here, a couple years, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how is it working out so far?
Very well.
Very well.
Here every weekend with us.
Here every weekend. Okay. How many mental health or behavioral health professionals do you have?
Oh, she's the only one right now.
She's the only one. Okay. So she kind of goes. So how do you prioritize where she goes for the day?
So she'll pick an officer to ride with for
Uh-huh.
her shift. and
Okay.
We'll switch her on and off. If somebody's wants to, like we have 3 guys on right now.
Okay.
So she'll ride with one guy for her duration,
Okay.
and then she's here. She's here Saturday, Sunday. She'll swap out.
Okay. So I guess the reason I was asking, it's not based on like the call then, right? Like it's, so if somebody calls in and says, hey, I got somebody suicidal, obviously she's probably gonna, want to make sure she's on that call.
Yep.
So, but are there any other indicators that, she would,
Anything that has any type of like mental health.
like somebody looks like they're spazzing out on the sidewalk, something like that?
Yep.
Okay. About how many calls do you guys average a day?
Per day.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I mean, we're all over the place.
Well, that's why it's an average.
Yeah, we can go from 2 to 10.
2 to 10,
Anywhere.
typically for one day?
Yeah, can, yeah.
Okay. And then when's the last time anybody solved a real crime?
We have all kinds of crimes here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like what?
All kinds. We've had murders,
Oh, wow.
rapes. We've had robberies.
Okay.
Anything that any other agency has, we have here.
Oh, wow.
With a victim.
What's that?
Something with a victim.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay. And you said you guys, what, 10 officers? 10? 18? And then one behavioral health. So is everybody kind of thinking you should have more behavioral health?
Well, it's a new thing, so
Right.
I think we're one of the first agencies to do that.
Okay.
I know there are others, but
Yeah.
in this area,
Taking some initiative, that's good.
sure. I know the Newcastle County Police have their own unit as well, and
Okay.
they also have behavioral health.
Okay.
But it's a little bigger.
Okay. So are they looking maybe to expand the program? Do you get any? I mean, you got a lot of stripes, so you probably get a little bit of.
Well, I don't know. I mean, right now, yeah, she's doing a great job. You guys from this area? Really enjoy having her.
Okay. Yeah.
You guys got a great day to be out.
Oh yeah, it's nice and warm out here. It's like.
Do you have a business card? I do not. I'm actually out. I apologize.
Oh yeah, if any of you guys have business cards though, that would be awesome. I do like to collect some business cards.
Right. You guys
Yeah.
got a business card?
But so far you've been great, man. No investigatory questions other than my name, you know what I'm saying? But I can break you from that. You gave me your first name, so we can it's like stripper programming, you know what I'm saying? It's like you instantly click into that, hey, I gotta investigate. Even if there's nothing to investigate, it's kinda like, you know, hey, do you want a lap dance? You know, and it's like, no, I don't. Yeah.
Is this how you normally park? Oh yeah. I mean, we'll come in this way. You know.
Oh, you guys were probably headed to the back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, wow, we see suspicious folks. We see some suspicious folks. Let's check and see how everything is going.
How are you, sir?
Could I get your name?
Sergeant Torres.
Sergeant Torres. Is it Staff Sergeant?
Masterson.
Master
Master
Sergeant.
Sergeant.
Oh.
And Lou was his first
In
name,
the
right?
Army, when I
Lou?
was in the Army.
Yeah. So that's Lou.
The Staff Sergeant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service. Appreciate that. Thank you.
And this is the supervisor's car.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, he is parked in here because he's a supervisor. He's somebody. And do you have a badge number too?
3032.
30.
Oh yeah, I didn't ask badge number. Man, see, how bad am I? You know?
It's good that we work together. Teamwork makes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm out here doing some frauditing, and I'm not even doing it right. You know what I mean? Like, have you heard of a fraudit before?
Fraud?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean when you
Frauditors?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, they're everywhere, as you can see. Like, they're just everywhere. Well, we're coming up with some rules for frauditing, right? Do you want to hear the first rule of frauditing? First rule of frauditing is to have nothing better to do. Okay? You absolutely have nothing better to do, right? And, you know, for me, I see it's kind of like, you know, kind of like you guys have nothing better to do, right? Than wait for a crime or wait for a call, right? So we have nothing better to do, right? Just like you guys are suspicious when you see stuff, we get suspicious, you know? And then you see like, one cop car and we're having a nice conversation. Then you see 2 cop cars roll in. It was like, whoa. It was like, what's going to happen here, right?
We're actually coming back to
Yeah, right. See, but you see how it looks, right? It appears suspicious. And anytime I'm suspicious, I just like having my suspicions quelled, you know, which is cool. You know, you've been totally cool. First name, awesome. Man, if everybody could be like you, you know, we did this exact same thing a couple days ago. They ended up throwing him in the back of a cop car, like picking him up, throwing him in the back of a cop car.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad.
I kept behind my back by the open. You can't throw something right? You live from under the shoulder.
Yeah.
Right. And if the lower you go on somebody's arm, the more torque you have, the more that, right? Right. And so, you know, they were below the elbow, and even at one point, I had me by the wrist, lifting me up all the way off of the ground.
Yeah, in midair. Like
And
just
they kept
3 days
asking
ago.
him, do you need an ambulance?
Right? And they gave up eventually, you know. And when that happens, so you guys think that you can make somebody do things, right? Well, the truth is that you need us to make our bodies walk and talk and eat and swallow.
Sure, cooperate.
Yeah, and it's real easy to get in the habit of just thinking that all you have to do is tell somebody to do something. And it's just going to happen, right? But when it reaches a point where the people stop complying voluntarily, you're in a bad spot.
Does he think he's getting out of here without coming over here?
He's actually.
He doesn't think he's got to come join the party.
Don't go inside the gate, guys.
Oh yeah, well I'm not going inside the gate. Yeah.
Oh, we got our first order. We got it. Woo woo! I knew he had to do it eventually. I knew it was going to be this guy.
It's Lou. Yeah, it's Lou.
We're never going to go anywhere we're not allowed to.
Yeah, that is one of the other rules to frauditing.
Know it all.
Yeah, we have to know it all. We have to.
Told us we couldn't walk through that gate. We'd be a bunch of dumb
Yeah.
right? And you guys should know what gates are too, right? I know you guys like to say, "Oh, it wasn't us. That was in the department. It happened at different places." Places don't cause things, right? It's people and experiences, persons, right, that do things, not a place. So, just because you might be on a different department, right? Training is different but similar, right, amongst all departments. And there are many cases, I think, I don't want to say names because I might get it wrong, but I do recall a case within the last 4 to 5 years of a cop. He was responding to a welfare check, maybe, I think, because the front door was open. Grandma was in there playing video games with her grandson. And cop jumps the fence, goes in her backyard that's locked. She's got a gaming gun, like duck hunt. Well, actually, she had a real gun. But she was in her backyard that was locked, right? And there's somebody in her yard at night, and he shoots her right there in front of her grandson.
I didn't hear the last part of hearing.
He shot her in front of her grandson in her own house. She was in her house with a gun. But there's a cop back there, but he jumped a locked fence. Like, you understand, anybody can walk up on somebody's front porch, knock on the door. Yeah, you're not trespassing, so you can ask to leave. Right? And you can do that just like anybody. You can look in somebody's trash can if it's on the street, just like anybody can look in their trash can. You can look in somebody's car window, just like anybody can look in somebody's car window. Right? None of you jumping in a community grounds are trying to look in your window.
Yeah.
Right? Plain sight.
Yep.
Right? But what you can't do is jump a fence that's locked without exigent circumstances, a warrant, or consent. Right? There's only 3 reasons, or is there 4 now? I don't know. The evil orange man might have added off the top of your head. There's nothing off the top of your head.
That is true.
Good looks for my dad.
Right, I know. This is going to go a certain way, but I'm paying attention. Okay. I want to know the truth, right? Off the top of your head. There's only 3 reasons. This is important, right? It is, right? Sergeant, there's 3 reasons that you can get into a house or a car or search somebody. Exigent circumstances, consent, or a warrant, right? And so, like, you could lock down the house if you think, oh, the door's open, this looks suspicious, let's get a warrant, let's make sure nobody leaves, right?
Right.
But jumping the fence and then shooting grandma in her house because she thinks somebody's scared.
Don't worry, I'm watching the perimeter just with you too. Don't worry, we're holding this scene down. You know what I'm saying? Me and you, Lou, we're holding this scene down, bro.
You got in front of the car, right? A moving car, right? And you created your own exigent circumstance, and then you thought you were going to shoot them because now they're coming towards you with a moving car that you walked in front of. Right. Then you created your own truck, your own thing, right? You can't do that.
I mean, I also have the right to protect myself from
Not by standing in front of a moving car. If you're next to it doing a traffic
So here's my
stop,
question, though. Just off the top of my head, if the person is coming to hit me, even if I stand in
you're
front
next
of
to
them,
the car. You're here doing.
I thought you were saying like I was standing in
the
front
car
of the
starts moving. You see him put him in here. He's moving, and then you run in front of it.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, now he's moving towards me. Boom, I can shoot him.
No.
Now, see, you created your own exigent
Correct.
circumstance.
Okay, I see what you're talking about.
Right? And in this day and age, that's happening. The cops are getting away with it, because juries aren't convicting you yet. Right? But tide is changing because of lost trust. And when you lose trust, it's hard to get it back. But you guys are doing a good job towards helping me today. I like your response.
Not to interrupt.
If we could have some lights on these cars, maybe in a legal order for you.
No, there's no order. I just wanted to
do a call meeting for
one of us all
get
get
a call meeting contest. It's a one-way street. I know you like to get places.
I'm not doing anything. I just want to.
This is our street.
I just want to let you know that the Fort Worth, Texas police officer that you quoted was arrested and convicted of a crime. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, so you did know that.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that, right? We got another one. You guys have 10 cops on duty right now?
Whoa. Well, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 5.
This shift sheet
We have a few officers that are on a paid job.
Oh,
on a paid job?
Yes.
What's
Oh,
a-
like a private job.
Correct.
Oh.
Paid. Okay. Yeah.
who is that?
You do that. If
Who-
you guys were fed, it would be unconstitutional, right? The meal promotion.
Yep.
Right. It'd be nice. I think that should apply to the states too.
As far as the paid jobs,
Yeah, because it's the same concept, right? What's the difference between a federal employee that they can't have any second job, right? They can't get paid from any other source.
well, no. All right. What about National Guard? Because technically they have 2 jobs, right? National Guard is
Well, that's
government.
military. I'm talking about the 3 branches of the government. So if you have a strong base of office, you're elected, right? Like in the federal government, or you are a marshal or a homeland security, you cannot work a second job. That's a violation of your oath.
Yes, that is correct.
Right. But if you're a state employee, you can't.
So, Sergeant,
Because you know when it's
Well, Staff Sergeant.
Paso Police has been in
The
this
world
house
ever,
since
the concept
1672.
We're also not a
So they
federal
also
state.
follow
We're
the
about
orders.
the city of New York.
Yes, right.
6.
Well, since 1672.
Oh, well, let me ask you about
Told
that.
everything.
Yeah, let me ask you about that because, like, that actually brings up a good point. How were you guys around COVID time with mask mandates?
Well, we were pretty much following the orders of every department was following the orders that were put out.
What were the orders that were put out?
Well, that you should be wearing a mask, 6 feet. That's
Did you ever arrest somebody for wearing a mask? No? Okay, so it was kind of on the.
I did when I had to.
Oh my God, that had to feel so humiliating, didn't it? Like having to put that thing on. It's like a shame muzzle, you know what I'm saying? Man, so horrible. Well, the reason I'm asking that is because, you know, like order following, you know, like it can lead to really bad places and really dark places. And I think COVID was a classic example of that, right? Telling me that it's against the law and I have to have a mask out even when I'm in public or somewhere like that. You know, thankfully, you know, with my teeth, you'd think I'd want to wear a mask, right? Like you'd be like, hey, that guy should be in favor of masks, but I wasn't, okay? I wasn't, because guess what? This pretty face right here, this pretty face is not getting covered by any masks, you know? So, but you never enforced it, and you never arrested somebody for not wearing a mask. So doesn't that make the law?
Because you were ordered.
But doesn't that take away, like you, because you said it, depending on what the rules were at the time, right, and what was told to you, but you didn't enforce it.
We would ask people to please
Ask,
and
right.
we didn't.
Ask is the key word in that phrase because you wouldn't demand, right? Right. See, and anytime, like,
I feel
because
like a person of authority is just.
yeah, well, let me. So, I mean, that's a great point, though. But that's a great point is that you would ask folks, you wouldn't tell them, right? Because if it was the law, you would tell them, right? Because you don't go, hey, will you please not commit murder?
Right.
You go, hey, if you commit murder, I'm doing something about it, right? We're going to put a stop to it. So,
He's about to prohibit the curse words in this state.
fuck, shit, damn, cunt, bitch, suck, fuck, dick, fuck. Like, I'll say them all. I'll say every last one of
You
them.
just told me it's disorderly conduct to swear.
To swear in the city.
Yeah, cursey words.
Well, it depends on the context of how.
Okay.
If it's fighting words like
Right.
cause a reasonable person to breach the peace, right? So if you go up and ask a girl if she'll suck your dick and she slaps you in the face immediately, that's disorderly conduct.
Yeah,
That
right?
would probably
Right.
be, yeah.
Fighting
Yeah.
words.
But if you're just swearing and all that, free speech still applies, right? Right. If you say bomb on an airplane and it causes panic,
Right.
then it caused panic. But if you say it in a funny way and nobody panics, then you didn't cause panic. It wasn't likely to, right?
It's on how
We're
Okay,
dropping
so you
truth
do have
bombs.
to have a breach of the peace, right?
Yes.
Okay. This guy thinks otherwise. You just sit back and watch.
Lou, this is a master class on fraud. By the way, when he got arrested in Maryland the other day, he managed to get himself arrested without them even having probable cause or RAS. Like that's next level frauditing when you can get arrested without even having RAS. You know what I mean? Impressive. It's like a feat I've never seen before. I mean, they lifted him up in the air so high, they were like, we have no RAS, but we're just gonna whoosh, threw him in the back of the car. Isn't that crazy?
We caught that on 4 cameras.
Yeah. The amazing thing to me is that it still happens every day on the streets of America. You know, I witnessed it. I've gotten arrested off the side of the street, and all I did was say, this little piggy has been generating revenue for the state all damn day long. This is Borg, and Borg's a little liar. And then I turn my camera, and boom, his 2 buddies are coming over to it to get me. You know, but I wasn't even within. I'm closer to you guys right now than I was to him when I said that, right? But they were running a speed trap, right? And so a speed trap, to me, that's state sanctioned legalized extortion. That basically, that's what it is, right? You're not doing it for public safety. If they wanted public safety, they wouldn't be in unmarked cars, right? I mean, like, when folks see you, what do? Slow down?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Right. So if it's public safety that you're after, you would want marked vehicles, right? They're unmarked cars.
We don't have any unmarked vehicle, as you can tell.
That's a great, that is, yeah, we'll give you credit for that one. Now, listen, this is the last thing I'm giving you credit on, so don't get used to it, okay? This is the only thing. Okay, all right, but marked vehicles, because then you also open the window to folks not knowing if it's a cop or not, and police impersonators, right?
I personally like the black and white. I think it's a great style vehicle.
I think this stands out. You can tell it's a cop. There's no question that, hey, that should be a legitimate police officer. It's those undercover ones, you know what I'm saying? And then police impersonators. Have you ever heard of a guy named Jeremy DeWitt?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All cops know Jeremy DeWitt, right?
Yeah, well, Motor One.
Okay, so, yeah, and then you had this other guy, his name was Kaiser, Fraudit Wrangler. He was on YouTube. There's these fake cops that end up on YouTube. Jeremy DeWitt was one, right? This guy Kaiser, he was another one. He was pretending he was an MP.
Really?
Yeah, from the military. Turns out never even passed basic training, anything, but he was like, he has a blue line flag. He was like kissing cops' ass and everything, right? But my point to all this is that these fake cops, right, they're a problem. Right? They could cause some serious damage. They could rack up serious amount of victims before you guys even are onto them, right? So that's why the unmarked police cars, right? And then I was standing there and I was calling it out. Now, just like we're doing right now, they could have been invited to a conversation, right? And I could have explained to them what you're doing right now. I see it as state-sanctioned legalized extortion. They could have been perfectly capable of telling me their take on it, right? And giving me their opinion. Like, no, I'm here trying to enforce traffic. I'm trying to be safe, right? They didn't do any of that. They just kept driving around like big babies. You know, kept driving around a parking lot with like big babies. And then they just ambushed me and attacked me, right?
Oh, we got under the vigilance committee. Is that the username?
On YouTube?
I don't know.
TikTok, Instagram, you know, X, yeah, just any platform. Rumble, yeah, because you know YouTube's starting to censor free speech a little bit. Yeah, I never have a problem with YouTube. Like, we're live on YouTube right now. Yeah, so just so you know, I'm sure you guess that, but
in
yeah.
public, so I don't.
Listen, second one.
Give me another one.
Fuck, man. See, this guy's already busting my balls. See, that's why you can't give him an inch, because then they.
I want to let you know. Yeah, I'm just a dude who didn't want to go to college. Ended up going to college. Decided I still wanted to be a cop. Except I want to work behind the desk. I can guarantee you that there's more things we agree on than disagree on.
What do you like best about the job?
Me?
Yeah.
The freedom that I have.
The freedom that you have?
Yeah, I get to be basically Sergeant Torres is my boss, but he's like, what do you want to do today? I was like, I'm going to go do traffic enforcement.
Did you have to wear a mask?
Huh? I was not an officer.
Oh, how long have you been on the
3 years, yeah.
3 years? Oh, okay, cool.
Just under 3 years.
Would you have worn a mask?
Huh?
Would you have worn a mask?
I didn't like the mask.
Okay, because you just said a minute ago, what's your favorite part, and that's freedom. But then what if they had required you to wear a mask?
Well, we would have had to have that conversation, but I wasn't required to at the employment that I had at the time.
But doesn't that seem like the opposite of freedom, is having to wear a mask?
Well, yes, I agree.
Okay.
So I said, there's going to be a lot of things that you and me agree on.
Okay.
A lot less things that we disagree on.
Okay.
Were you ever in the military?
It's not, sir. Before this, I was a fireman.
Before this, you were a fireman? He worked for the good guys. He worked for the good guys for a little bit. Why don't you go back to being a firefighter and being the good guys? You know? The firefighters, everybody loves firefighters.
The good guys the other day in Idaho. What happened there?
Oh, what happened in Idaho?
The active shooter.
Oh. Active shooter on a fire? So an active shooter was taking out firefighters? Wow.
He wound up, the shooter, as you're asking, so 2 firemen died, a third was injured, and he's now in stable condition. And the suspect was found deceased later that evening with a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Oh, wow.
Other than that, I haven't heard any updates. I can't give you anything further.
So they're targeting firefighters.
This gentleman set a brush fire on fire, set a bunch of woods on fire, and then just waited for the firemen to arrive.
Oh, man.
Shot 3 of them.
Yeah, see, this is much better being, you know, being recorded than it is being shot, right? And see, and the way I see it is like, you know, this is kind of like our last hope, like the cameras and I mean, the camera can be such a corrective mechanism if you allow it to, right? Like I've learned so much about myself. I put myself on record and on video. You know what I mean? So to me, I look at this is like the last defense. You know what I'm saying? Because you can see the country's kind of at a boiling point. You know, tensions are high. You guys, you just admitted you're getting more calls for mental health than ever before, right? So yeah, we like this is what every department should do, in my opinion, right here. Instead of snatching some dude with a camera and saying, no, you're annoying us, and throwing him in a car, like does that guy look peaceable or does he look violent? Yeah, peaceable, right? And as long as you're peaceable, then, you know. I also had folks tell me when I first started doing this, recording cops, they were like, man, that's so dangerous. I'm like, but wait, what I'm doing isn't wrong. I'm recording in public, right? The safest place for me should be right next to you, right? That should be the safest place, but it's not. It's not, right?
Not today it is.
Not today, but no. But here's what I want you to consider, you know, and I'll ask a lot of questions. A lot of them are like rhetorical questions, you know, but it's like, are you trying to build public trust or are you trying to lose public trust, right? So anytime you see videos online or something, or you hear a first-hand account of what just happened, you know, the fact, I would think, like, I would be appalled if I was a cop, right? And that cop is giving me a bad name, because you guys all have the blue line, and that's just known all throughout the country. So, you know, you're known to protect each other behind the blue line, right? What I would think is if you wanted officers to be safe, what you'd want to do is you'd want to call out that bad behavior, and you'd want to just completely distance yourself from the bad apples, is what they say, right?
Well, yeah,
There's only a few bad apples.
Your gentleman over there in the leather cut for lack of a better term. I don't know what that vest. Excuse me.
I won't beat you up over terminology.
I wanted to make sure he knew that the officer that he was quoting in Fort Worth, Texas, was arrested and convicted. I wanted to make sure he knew that. Sometimes you don't get the full story, just like you just said. What happened? I didn't hear the full story.
Yeah. So, but again, going back to the stories and the eyewitness accounts and everything, like when you guys hear stories like that, just do me a favor. Like, you know, do you watch videos on YouTube? Do you watch any cop watching? Do you?
Very little bit.
Have you ever heard of LIA? Long Island Audit?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You've heard of Long Island Audit, the Great Apologist? Okay. All right. So the Great Apologist, but anyways, so my whole point to this is, like, it's disappointing if you guys don't watch the videos. You know what I mean? Because we just agreed that it's a self-corrected mechanism, the camera. And you guys could do that on your own. Like when yeah, exactly. Like you could go back and you could watch, okay, this cop looked like a real idiot on camera versus this cop. Like you guys will all look great and professional today, right? But then you can go and look at videos where cops look like shit. You could show that to the new guys, right? And be like, here, you're going to have cameras show up. Here's a guy that looked like an idiot on camera. Here's another video where the guy did the right thing. Kind of like, and you could use this video as an example up till now. She's got...
Let me turn the lights on?
Yeah!
I can't see them.
Come on.
That's pointless. I like light brights.
Yeah.
We only turn them on when we need to.
Well, he brought the book out for something. So that's a good sign. See, you know what? Anytime we've ever tried to do this very rarely happens. This is like a unicorn right now. Yeah. You know, and the other thing I do is I tell a cop, hey, look up the law before you go, you know, saying something stupid on camera or doing something stupid on camera. They never, Google is right there. You know what I'm saying? You can just go in, Google it. You can get the exact statute. You can get everything. Yeah. Well, and of course, you guys can't enforce the law unless it's written into law, right? So that means if it's written into law, then you should be able to produce it on paper, right? How many times do you think I've asked somebody to produce something on paper and they haven't been able to, right? And then that puts you guys in such a tough spot, too, because then you guys are required to know it all, right? You guys have to know every law, everything, right?
No.
And then they throw COVID into the mix, and then it's like, well, hey, just be honest with me. Was COVID like the first time you started questioning, like maybe superiors or maybe?
It was a uncomfortable time.
Uncomfortable time.
In history, sure.
Uncomfortable
For
time.
everybody, yeah.
Now, what about all the folks that were non-essential that lost their jobs? Feel for them? Feel for them. Yeah. So you're not going out there and busting them for like insurance or like registration and stuff. You kind of let those things slide because we're in a difficult economy right now.
Discretion.
Okay, discretion. Okay. So, what? Give me an example of a time when you used discretion versus when you didn't use discretion.
When you use discretion?
Yeah.
It would depend on somebody's history, obviously.
History. Okay, history. That's good. Okay.
And the severity of the offense.
Severity of the offense.
Sure.
Attitude.
Yeah. It plays
Attitude.
It plays
Okay.
into it.
Okay.
A bit.
I mean, if they're exercising their First Amendment right, and they were like, "Hey, fuck you, pig," something like that. No.
Hey, so there is freedom of speech
Right.
to that extent that we discussed already.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Discretion goes a long way.
Okay. I'm just because a lot of times I have cops that'll tell me, they use discretion, and then they go, "Oh, but unless they had a bad attitude, or unless they said something, I like the first two responses, right? Prior history,
Sure.
and how severe is whatever. Those were the two, right? Okay, so yeah, that to me would factor in as well. Were they putting the public in danger? Personally, for me, I just like to see no victim, no crime be enforced. But I'll actually meet halfway in the middle. Okay, I'll meet you guys halfway in the middle, and I'll say, listen, the public demands that you be out there, right? So for me, this is two phases: educating the public on what their rights are, right? That's phase number one, so that they don't get bullied or pushed around. And then let's say you have a bad officer that you don't know about, and they're out there doing crappy stuff to folks. You'll find out faster when you get folks that know their rights and are able to kind of assert their rights and let you know, right? Yeah.
You have to have a driver's license if you drive a vehicle.
Yeah, see what I'm going to be doing soon.
Okay.
I've manifested a lot of things in life, and I'm going to manifest this one as well. Within 5 years, I'm going to be riding around, no plates. It's going to be an insured car, right? The car will be insured. That's what I'm saying. I'll meet you halfway, right? Because honestly, you guys got to prevent folks from being out there causing accidents, being irresponsible. But I'm going to have a vehicle, insured, no license, no registration. I'm just going to ride it. How would you treat me if you saw me out there doing that in your town? I was live streaming it like I am right now.
You probably get stopped. I mean, if you get stopped, you're probably going to have a bit of an issue.
A bit of an issue.
That is it's a state law, right?
It's a state law.
Right.
Okay, so now is there any evidence that those state laws apply to a private civilian?
If you're driving in the state, yes.
If you're driving in the state, yes.
It does apply.
It does apply. Is there factual evidence of that?
So, yeah.
Can you break it? Listen, I do this.
I'm not going to produce that.
Yeah. Listen, I do this with judges. I do this with judges in real life courtrooms. I do this with judges in real life courtrooms. Please don't take offense, right?
Sure.
This is an educational period. But is there any factual evidence private civilians have any obligation to follow the written instrument called traffic code? Factual evidence that you can print out. We already agree that laws are printed out. You can show me on paper, right? It'd be in that code book. Okay, but what about somebody like me? I'm not from around here, right? Does that code book still apply to me?
If you're driving in the state. Yes.
And can I see the factual evidence that that's true?
It would say that you're required by the state to have a license and a registration.
If we just talked about having Google on your phones, can you Google for me what you have that's factual evidence of that?
Well, I'm not. If you excuse me, I'm not going to do it right now. But
Okay.
I'll have a conversation with you.
Yeah. No, feel free.
Yeah.
Run this conversation back. Listen, I'll even give you my channel name before I leave here because I like this conversation.
Sure.
Lou, I like this conversation. I'm not, I want more of this. I want more of this, right? I have tons of good interactions with cops, and those are the ones I love. But anyways, I'm not trying to catch you up on anything. But seriously, if you had a guy like me and then I put you on the stand in court, I'm going to ask you that question. And then you're going to have to give a response, right? You'll have to, what factual evidence does a private civilian, that you have for a private civilian follow a written instrument called traffic code, right? But my point is, I'd rather meet you like, Lou, you're a man, I'm a man. I don't think if I was riding around live streaming with no plates like right now, I don't even think you'd do anything to me. I don't even think you'd try to bust me out of that car, grab me through the window. I don't think you would. Man to man, right? You wouldn't do that. I mean, I could see if you thought I didn't have insurance or something, or I may be in danger of the public. But if I had a conversation with you, just like we did just now, said, here's my bonding or my insurance for the vehicle. I'm not out here. I'm going to obey the traffic laws, not because I'm required to, but because it makes sense. It's common sense, right? Right, exactly. So as long as I was respectful to you, You know? All right, Newcastle might be the first place I try when I start live streaming, riding around with no plates. Not this place. Where's a good place to try?
I don't know.
I don't know. Lou, now we're getting somewhere. Lou, you know it's might makes right, right? It's like, and you know that's dangerous. And why is it dangerous? Right. Hey, even if I was 100% peaceful, it could turn out really bad for me. Right? Right. And who would do that? Right? So you got to be careful with the order following. You know what I'm saying? That order following, it'll make you think you can act like a criminal and get away with it. You know what I mean? Because criminal behavior, being assault is criminal behavior. Right? We me and you will agree 100%, correct? Burglary, that's 100% a crime, right? Rape, murder, right? Yeah, so if you assault somebody, so if you act like a criminal by assaulting somebody, right? Whether it's your job to do it or not, you're still acting like a criminal, right? Yeah. So, and I understand your job, comes with all kinds of difficult situations. You don't always, you can't always make the right call out there, but yeah.
I wasn't that, so I can't.
Is there any way we can get you to just retire tomorrow? Lou? Lou, man, come on. Retire tomorrow and become one of us, bro. Come on. You can do it, man.
Under French, Swedish, British, and then the colonies flags at one port or another in our...
So how do you guys feel about being the state of Joe Biden?
What? Oh.
The state of Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah.
And they have it on the welcoming center and everything. Yeah. Oh, man.
Biden Center.
Yeah, Biden Center. It's like, oh, God. Well, this has been a great 4th of July so far. You know that?
Oh, weather-wise?
Yeah.
Oh,
politician, it means
been great.
or something along those lines.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to get slammed with a bunch of weather.
Are we?
Well, I feel he says he makes all the residents buy because they really conduct arrests. And he says that they are as long as that's but just like implying to somebody that you can't swear, you don't have to tell us the truth, but we don't force us to know it all, or unless we become know it all.
That's exactly what he was just saying.
It's a conspiracy.
It is a conspiracy. Lou is close to retirement, I think, with all those stripes. Lou, I got confidence Lou could retire tomorrow.
Yeah.
I got confidence in him.
I like Lou.
I like Lou.
If you see any Wascally Wabbits, just let them know tricks are for kids.
All right. We'll do
Okay. Yeah. Lou, I appreciate you, man.
All right, sir.
I appreciate you.
You guys are good. This was an intervention.
Yeah.
The buttons, did you guys talk about the ADA buttons on the outside? There's no button to open those?
Oh, yeah. On a serious note, yeah. The ADA, they're not ADA compliant.
That phone might be a little high for wheelchairs. The buttons.
Yeah.
Your pump, you spend a lot of money on the pump.
I mean, wheelchair can come up there, so that's ADA compliant.
Yeah, that's good.
The doors is kind of stuck.
Yeah.
You see those?
Yeah.
Those are government.
All right, guys. I haven't even been paying attention to chat. There's 8 folks in here. What's up? What up, Jeeps? Appreciate you being in here. What up, Jedi? Oh, hell yeah. I'm getting all kinds of love from the ladies today. I appreciate you being in here. Let's see. I can't go back too much. Wolvie, I appreciate you being in here. You're watching this live with us. Yep. You're watching this live. I can't go too far back in chat, guys. Oh, here. Never mind. I'm figuring it out. Jim Busby, what is up? Cammed Up Caveman. JOCO Kansas Cop Watch, what up? K Stevenson. Don't worry. We got them surrounded, guys. We got them completely surrounded. They're not going anywhere. We had them detained, but now I think they're free to go. And Jenny is in here. What up, Jenny? Aussie Nathan, appreciate you being in here. Oh, David, number 1 on there. Bam. What up, David? Appreciate you being in here. All right, guys. Well, we'll just keep this thing going. But I definitely did want to say hi to everyone.
It was this week. Yeah, it was this week. I believe it.
You're letting him get away? He's had a long day. Why? How long has he been? How long are your shifts?
We work 11 and a half.
11 and a half? Okay, that's pretty routine.
Yeah.
That is a long shift to deal with.
You guys paid
Oh my
overtime
goodness.
Or overtime for over 8
It
hours?
was actually part of the
Over 11 and a half we work.
Over 11 and a half.
After we start making it up.
So they just work 4 days a week then?
We switch. Our shifts broke.
So 3 1 week, 4 another week, 3 1 week, 4 another week. So yeah, so it balances out.
Yeah.
Have you ever done nights?
Oh yeah, we do days.
Yeah?
We do days.
Oh, you do days and nights. No getting used to a schedule for you, sir. Man.
We rotate through.
See, and that's the thing, like the freedom thing, right? Like it's like you guys don't really have freedom, right? You guys have privileges, not free. Listen, there's nothing wrong with wanting privileges over freedom. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that.
I just like to talk to everybody. Talk to anybody. You can't learn something new every day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you know anything about any crime? No.
Yes.
We're tracking a Wascally Wabbit. If you see any Wascally Wabbit, let them know.
They're still good though. I might get some tricks off. Dad tax. You ever heard of that joke? No, you pour a couple. You get your kid candy bar at the store. You take a piece like a Kit Kat.
Yeah, so they get used to the government, what their government's going to do to them. Yes, I love that
You
joke.
never heard dad tax?
That's kind of what it's like because we gave
A dad tax, yeah.
a piece.
Yeah, Rabbit took a piece and he thought he could take it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thought he could take it all, but he's not going
He
to.
also thought he was finishing the turtle.
Yeah, but the turtle won the race, didn't it?
But that doesn't mean you gotta keep
Looking in every rabbit hole. Yeah. Everybody knows that we're here.
Have you seen one of those?
You want to catch a rabbit? You have to make a promotion.
He sings it.
Waylon Jennings. Yeah.
You like Waylon Jennings?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's your favorite genre of music?
Waylon Jennings? He
What?
sang the Dukes of Hazzard song.
Oh, okay.
Just a
Good old boy, burn 'em, there's no harm, burn 'em,
Been in trouble with
the law since the day they was born. Making their way the only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than Lou will allow.
Good old boy. That's from the
Yeah.
Okay, I heard that. I heard you say when you walked over there.
That's Waylon Jennings, but he's saying, don't you think this outlaw bit's getting a little out of hand? You never listen to old country? Like Johnny Cash. Okay, Waylon Jennings was one of the outlaws with Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson. Well, they were the outlaws, and you know, it was just kind of, it started off a joke. Somebody called him an outlaw one day, right? And then the next thing you knew, New York was sending a posse down for him, right? And it's like us, like I say, you know, we live the outlaw life. We do it again. It's a conspiracy. And the guy was like, conspiracy. And they're all over it. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's like a maze. We've got government trapped in this maze. And we created it, and the FBI is constantly creating new agencies, and then they want to find out about us, so they go into our maze, and then they can't get out of it, and they're stuck in it, right? And they don't know. It's crazy. Don't go in the maze. I'm telling you, you can, but it's a maze, and we tell them it's a maze, but they never believe. They're like, it's a conspiracy.
They still go down that rabbit hole.
There is a maze.
And I bet it's something
This has been great.
Yeah.
There's been no crime going on in Newcastle, not even a report of a crime.
Do you see that? You should just have us here all the time, and then just crime will be
We'll be
suspended.
at your budget meeting.
Yeah. we do got stuff to get to.
Oh, Lou, like what?
Charge for a service.
Lou, like what?
I got to do reports.
Reports? All right, that's fair enough. Lou, I'm not going to bust your balls.
Okay. Well,
All right,
you
Lou.
guys got to get in a circle and talk about the reports before you write.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, peace
All right,
out.
Lou.
All right, guys.
We'll be walking up to cops is dangerous. It's not safe.
We established that. Yes, we established that.
But sometimes it works out good. It worked out good here.
Oh, we have business cards? Hell yeah. Oh yeah, we're collecting these. This way when I get arrested, you know? This way when I get arrested, they can look through and they
Don't
see
send it to PSA. It's not going to be a 10 out of 10.
Oh,
It's not a Gen 10. I just been it.
I like PGA better.
They did all kinds of
Okay.
stuff. See, the people
What do you collect? All cards, boards?
I actually found my old Pokemon cards in my grandpa's attic after he died a few months ago. My originals. I need to get them graded on it.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. Newcastle, well behaved, man. Awesome. Hell yeah. You know what? We're gonna credit you with them being on their best behavior because you're behavioral health. You are behavioral health. You are no.
You make them behave.
They're amazing.
All right.
Catch some criminals. Some real criminals.
People win again.
People win
All right, guys. That's it. People win again. It's a conspiracy. It was a people party out here. For all of you who were watching, yeah. Camden came in. Yep. Appreciate you guys being in here. Jedi, thank you. Oh, Granite Beast was in here. Oh, what up, Granite Beast? If he's in here. But anyways, all right, guys. Captain Happy. Appreciate you being in here. We'll see you guys on the next one. Late. Oh, 50 minutes? Holy cow. Man, that's a long time. All right, later, guys. And a whoop whoop.
First immune all day, bitches!